be recorded.
Thank you for joining the City of Kingston's Common Council at our Public Safety General Government meeting. Today is Wednesday, August 26th. My name is Drew Schott, the Council President and organizer for our virtual meetings. Before we begin, we would like to go over a few guidelines to help us navigate the system as efficiently and respectfully as possible. We ask that members of the public and press remain muted and off camera for the length of the meeting. As organizer, I reserve the right to mute anyone who unmutes themselves. Council members, city staff will control their own mute button. Good practice would be to mute yourself if you're not speaking to avoid background noise and feedback. If a council member or staff wishes to speak, they will raise their hands. The chairperson will call on them before they speak by stating their name clearly for our audio listeners. All of our meetings are recorded. Both video and written transcriptions will be made available to the public on the city's website. Although we will not have public speaking tonight, you can submit written comments to the City of Kingston clerk, Elisa Tinty at emtinty@kingston-ny.gov, or by dropping them off at the drop box located out the side door of City Hall. We also encourage you to reach out to committee chairs or your ward representative at any time. If you have any audio issues, send a text message to the following number, 914-466-8092. Please note that phone calls will not be answered during the meeting. The number to text is 914-466-8092. As the organizer for today's meeting, I reserve the right to lock and pause the meeting to eject anyone who has behaved inappropriately. Last, at tonight's meeting, we have in attendance Chair Alderman Tony Davis, committee members Alderman Jeffrey Ventura Morel, Alderman Rennie Scott Childress. Subbing for Alderman Patrick O'Reilly is Alderman Doug Coop. City staff, we have City Clerk Elisa Tinty. Thank you for your patience in these difficult times, and on behalf of the Common Council, I wish you and your family good health. And I now turn the floor to Chair Alderman Tony Davis.
Good evening, everyone. Alderman Tony Davis here. I believe we have two items on the agenda. And the first item on the agenda is in regard to Staff Sergeant Charles Johnson. And he was the first casualty of the Vietnam War in Kingston. And I believe we have a representative from Congressman Cahill's office. Assemblyman, I should say.
Yep, Gabriella here, Chief of Staff for Assembly Member Kevin Cahill. Mike Kearney is spearheading the Fallen Hero ceremony, but he could not be here tonight, so I'm here attending on his behalf.
All righty. So, Gabrielle, would you like to make a statement about what this is all in regard to for our public? Okay. And you can put yourself on now if you want to. I'm not sure.
Sure. So, Mr. Johnson was served in the Vietnam War. He was deceased after 10 years of 6 years of service. His family as well, all served in wars prior to. Recently, after his passing, there was some promises made to his family about a street being renamed near his home. That never actually made it. So years later now, as we're doing these Fallen Hero ceremonies, we had reached out to the family. They mentioned it. We found some old archived newspapers that made mention of the street renaming. The street in question, Murray Street, was named after someone specifically previously. So we went with the park nearby for a designation. That's kind of how that came about.
Okay, and this question's my question is, so you're saying Murray Street was named after someone else, a fallen?
Not a fallen hero, an Irish immigrant, actually.
Alrighty, so, and that is why, I remember, the Johnson family on one side, I'm related to and some members of the Johnson family. So I know I've been going back a while with this communication. And so I'm trying to figure out why the street name was dropped.
Right. So instead of the street being renamed, we went for the park that's over there. It's not technically the linear park, but it does connect. So the street we were going to rename, and then when we had mentioned it and did some research on it, we found that the gentleman who it was named after had worked in down on the Rondout and was like one of the founders of those buildings downtown. He did a lot of work down there, and there's a lot more information on the gentleman that the street was named after that I'd be happy to provide that Michael had. But that's why we kind of went for the park rather than the street itself, because we didn't want to take away from that.
So the Mary Street is named after someone.
Right.
Mary.
Very significant to the city of Kingston specifically and downtown Rondout area.
Well, I know I've had conversations with some of the family members, and they're in agreement in regard to naming this section of the linear park or trail in honor of their family member. So that was only my question. Thank you for answering. Anybody else have any questions on it?
No, I would just like to say, if I may.
Yeah. Randy Scott Childress.
Randy Scott Childress here. I think it's a great idea. And I also like the idea of naming a section of the linear park, because then we're not replacing somebody else's name. And it's also, this is the kind of thing where, people want to be able to sit with a memory like that, sit with a memorial like this. And I find that hard to do if it's a street name. So by it being associated with the park, I think that provides a better place for this.
Okay.
So I'm actually happy that this is the strategy they chose.
I know we have two family members here, and Miss Rhonda Johnson and my cousin Ronald Johnson. Does either one of you guys want to have any input, want to speak about on this matter? No? Ronnie?
I'd just like to just say thank you to all the members and all the Assemblyman Cahill's office for continuing this effort. We really appreciate it. It's a long time coming, but we do appreciate all the effort you guys have put into this.
Absolutely. Our thanks to you and your family.
Miss Rhonda?
Yes, I was just wondering, where is Linear Park?
And Linear Park if I'm correct, is the new trail that used to be the old railroad tracks.
Correct.
Came out in front of Rondout Gardens back in the day, Miss Rhonda.
Okay.
And that has been changed now. So that's Linear Park. That trail goes all the way down to the Strand and goes all the way up to the back behind Rondout Savings Bank.
Okay, I knew that. I just didn't know where the park was actually located. So it's that spot right there in front of Rondout.
They're going to put it right in front of Rondout, yes.
Okay, that's
Alderman
good.
Coop?
Is this the location of this park? Is this the very nice park that's on the bike trail, on the Kingston Point trail that goes right by the Rondout Gardens? It's a very lovely location.
Yeah.
And Gabrielle, is that going to be the section where it's going to be located?
They're going to put the sign. It's not, I'm not sure if you're thinking of where the traffic light is that goes into Port Ewan. That's in front of the building. Is that the section you're talking about that has like the overhead?
No, we're talking about
The point. What I'm questioning is this: as the Kingston Point Rail Trail comes down past some of the houses at Kingston Housing Authority and Rondout Gardens, and it's a series of switchbacks, but right in the middle of that is a very lovely park, and I think it's an ideal location, and I hope that's what we're speaking of tonight.
Okay, I believe that is the same spot that you're referencing. I'm trying to, because there's the newer linear like bike path that was recently put in the city of Kingston, and it's not that. It is in front of the building that you're referencing.
Okay. So it's in front of
The Rondout Garden facility, right?
yeah.
okay.
So right where Murray Street comes into Rondout Drive there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. All
The
right.
actual ceremony, we have to do it somewhere that has a rain alternative. So that is something that's just might come about with the actual event, but the actual sign will be located there, right in that specific location.
Great.
Okay. I think I got a grasp of where you are referring to. So it's because Murray Street runs through from Rondout or Keening Boulevard all the way up to Delaware Avenue,
Right.
right?
Yes.
And so so is it up at the top or is closer to the elementary school, John F. Kennedy section, or closer to the Rondout Garden section?
No, closer to the Rondout Garden section.
Okay. All right. I think I got the area where it's going to be located.
So it'll be near the garden there, the community garden?
Right.
Okay.
Where there, I believe there's also a few benches over there as well.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Any other discussion on this matter? So can I get a motion to, and Andrew, I don't have it in front of me. So do you have that, or Elisa?
The committee report?
Yes.
No, I don't have a copy of it. So, but I do have spare copies if you need them.
Yeah, I never received a copy of that. I'm just trying to see how we write up this committee report.
Well, you would want to do it. You would want to know the exact location, because this is. Would we be putting up the sign, Gabriella? Would we be putting up the sign, or is your office, Kevin's office, going to be doing that?
Well, we were hoping that that you folks, the city, would be able to put up the sign, but we can totally find an alternative if that's not on the table.
All right, just with the committee report, we would just need to have the specific location of, the intersection where it's going to be.
Sure, yeah. Put it up right now so that I can send it right over to you.
Alderman Childress, Scott Childress.
Well, I'm just making the motion.
Okay. All right. Let me just get a committee report. And another thing is then, would the city be making up the sign, or is that something that's going to be provided by Simon Gabrielle about your office?
So it would be preferable if the city could provide one, but we can definitely find an alternative and get it provided if necessary. Okay. Are there any certain standards that it needs to meet for the city of Kingston, or anything like that criteria that it has to be in line with?
I think just DPW, if they're the ones that, if it's city of Kingston responsibility, DPW, we just need to know what is going on the sign and where to place the sign.
Okay.
But it also had to, for the committee report, Tony, just say that the dedication of the section where we were talking to, ball and soul.
Yeah, so Gabrielle, that would be, you need to know exactly what if the city's doing this. We're going to have to, DPW is going to need to know what is going on the sign. Staff Sergeant Charles Johnson, and we would need to provide them a location of where this has to go.
Absolutely. We can provide that to you. No problem. I can probably send it to you this evening during the meeting, and it would be the staff sergeant to recognize his service.
And so are you looking at that intersection with Maple Street? Because that's right where the community garden is.
Okay. I'm just pulling up the notes right now. Garden door.
What you could do, Tony, is write a resolution to dedicate a portion of the Kingston Point Rail Trail to Staff Sergeant Charles Johnson, correct?
Correct.
And then you could, see attached.
But it's not the rail trail, is it?
It is the rail trail, yes.
Okay.
And then just write C attached for specifics. And then when Gabriella can get the exact wordage, we can attach that to the committee report. Elisa, correct me if I'm missing anything, please.
No, absolutely. I just have to confirm with Michael the specific designation within that trail that would be designated.
All right, so today is 8/26.
And Elisa, would that be okay for your office? Elisa, are you there?
Yes, it would be fine.
Did you say yes?
Yes.
Alrighty. So the resolution dated 8/26 of 2020, resolution to dedicate a portion of the city rail trail to Staff Sergeant Charles Johnson. See attached.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Could you put Charles W. Johnson?
Charles what?
W, the letter W
W,
for his
all
middle
right.
name. Thank you.
Staff Sergeant Charles W. Johnson. See attached.
Thank you.
Do I have a motion? Elisa, first? Can't hear you. Can't hear you, Lisa.
I think you just need to turn your volume up or send me a message.
Okay. Do I have a motion, Rennie? That's been having his hand. Second, Jeffrey? All in favor? Anyone opposed? 4-0. All righty. Thank you. And Gabrielle, if you can send that either to Andrea or to my attention, so then somehow we can get this and get it attached. Or,
Absolutely.
or should we just have it sent to Elisa?
Elisa will need it, so
All righty.
I mean,
So Gabrielle, if you can just send that to Elisa Tenti at City Hall, Clerk's office.
Got it.
or if you send it to
Absolutely.
me, I could get it. I could get it to Elisa in the morning.
All righty, because yes, we need all the exact specifics.
Okay.
Can we also make sure that a copy of any text goes to the Johnson family so they can review it and make sure everything is correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. That's it. Thank you, the Johnson family.
Yes, we appreciate your being here and we understand your pain over the years.
All righty. Next thing on the agenda then would be the Wilbur Avenue, Dunn Street intersection. We're good? Beale Street?
Yes.
So I had this thing up and I apologize that I have it here in front of me again. But I'm missing the paperwork. Let me just find this, please. Hold on for a second so I can read exactly how it reads. Oh, calendar. This comes up like this all the time. Apologize. All right. So next item, which is underneath, that was all for new business. So the next item on it is old business, which is a Wilbur Avenue at Dunn Street signage. And so got a communication from city engineer who went out and looked at it, and his recommendations are this, so I'll just read you the exact verbiage. As requested Alderman Tollerman, I evaluate the location for removal of stop signs for southbound traffic. This location, the Alderman's request to eliminate the stop sign for the vehicles that are southbound Wilbur at Dunn. This is non-standard intersection of multiple streets coming together at one point, Dunn, Davis, Wilbur, and Rodney. Because of this, and also because of this point, is a transition out of residential area to a more rural area. I can recommend that this intersection become an all-way stop intersection. Therefore, I recommend the Common Council revise the Code Chapter 390 Vehicles and Traffic as follows. Add to 390-92 Schedule 9 Stop Intersections. Done at a bill. Note, sign is already installed but not in the code. Second, Davis at Wilbur, at Nicole. Rodney at Dunn, which Rodney is a dead-end street that it comes right out into Dunn Street, the little section. So he wants to put the stop. He recommends putting a stop sign there. And then Wilbur northbound at Davis. In addition to the R1-1 stop signs, R1-3 all-way riders should be installed. That's a long-winded, but that's his recommendations. Any question? Discussion, I should say. No? Can I have a motion?
Well, yeah.
So again, I'm just gonna put a communication and add all-way stop sign or add all-way stop signs at the intersection of Wilbur Avenue at Dunn Street. Please see attached.
Yeah,
Sound good, Andrea?
it's confusing otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just confirming that you could just do it all in one, just to make sure, DPW doesn't need all of them. So at least I don't think has sound. So I'm just texting her right now to find out. Yes, that's fine.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So Lisa just said that's fine to do it that way.
So the resolution is going to read to, in addition to the R1 stop signs, R1-3 always and stop signs or riders will be installed at the intersections of Dunn, Wilbur, Davis, and Rodney. Sound good? Motion? Second? All in favor? Anyone opposed? No? Boom, 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 boom. Alrighty. That is all I have. Any other thing that anybody wants to talk about?
No.
I'm quick and to the point.
We
Well, we love
appreciate
you, Tony.
about that.
I usually come out of one meeting. I come out of police commission meeting right before this, so I just want to get it over with. All right.
Right.
Okay. And Elisa, I will get this to you somehow. I'll take pictures and forward it to you today. And
Can you send it to me too, Tony? Because I'll then send it
so CC you as well.
to me and Elisa.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All righty. Thank you, guys. Have a good one.